right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Truth Unfiltered. I'm your host, The Rev, and this is another little season report of breaking the narrative. And what is the little season? I'm going to be honest as I begin this stream tonight and let you guys know that I have not really planned on what I was going to talk about tonight. I hadn't really had a whole lot of time to sit down and just kind of gather everything together. It's been kind of stressful on my end. But on the positive note, I've started a new job within my same career and just at another company. Everything kind of went pretty good with the transition. There hasn't been any issues on either end. I believe that if you're honest and tell the truth, a lot of times that good things will happen as far as that goes. That being said, welcome back, you guys. Let's check in with everybody. Let's see. We have Mary Beth D'Angelo and we have Miles. Blessings. Good to see you guys. We have Brother Dojo the Third and Brother Val, and we have Monica Farrow. Good evening. Good to see you guys. Welcome in. Welcome to Truth Unfiltered. So as it is, though, I have a ton of things I want to talk about all the time. There's never just one topic of discussion that I want to have. The issue is that I try to stay in line with what I'm kind of going through, and that's the biblical scripture and trying to understand why people are even calling this thing the little season. Like, what is this little season that everybody keeps hearing about? There's debates online going on, YouTube here and there, and other chat channels of the world. People are discussing this as if it's going to change the world. I'm not here to tell you that it is or it isn't. What I'm here to just say is the little season is a simple concept. For a lot of people, it becomes confusing because in the end, it does challenge everything you've ever been taught, everything you ever thought was right and wrong. And the plus on the up and up and the retrospective forward marching view of this thing, ultimately the pros outweigh the cons. The only cons that I can find within the concept or the idea of the little season are ideas such as things like, what about me? What do you mean I'm wrong? What do you mean I don't know what I'm talking about? What do you mean this? What do you mean that? What do you mean I just went through 8 years, 10 years, 4 years even sometimes, and for some they get lucky and can only have to do 2 years. College, time spent learning, educating yourself, and growing within the world around you, so that you can go out into the world and perform a task, perform a service, perform a community effort. You're out there to start a job, start a career, to make a name for yourself and establish yourself among the community as one of God's people, whether you're from this bloodline or this tribe or that tribe. It's like a hopeless romantic novel, one that has a tragic ending. At least that's how people read into this thing. They want us to be wrong so bad because they want tribulation to come through full fruition because they've spent their entire lives betting on it. They spent their entire careers, all their effort, betting on the fact that Jesus is going to come back, beam all the good Christians up. They would get to avoid the 7 years of tribulation that all us naysayers would have to endure, only for them to come back and somehow save us. But in the meantime, they're gonna intentionally create all this chaos. All these actors out here playing with your minds, playing with your ideas, your thoughts. You can unplug for a day or two, turn everything off, but still most of your thoughts are governed and geared already. The wheels are spinning and it's all downhill. The momentum's so great that brakes don't work. Once you get on that path of easy, that path of unrighteousness, it's hard to get back on the path that's not easy and the path that does seem a little more righteous. Bad things happen in the world, and we never want to really talk about it. Usually when we do talk about the bad things, it's, well, look at what's going on. Look at all, I don't really want to really go into all of it. Oh, I feel uncomfortable with this. Oh, this bothers me. Let someone else deal with it. Let someone else handle it. It's things like laws and structure and order. The way we think, the way we behave, we don't often really consider what someone else is really thinking. We just assume to know most of the time. And it's based on appearance, based on accent, based on all these different variables that design the character that you become within this world. Most people view it just as I'm describing it, as a big game, and everybody's playing to win. You hear our president say it all the time. I love winning. We can't stop winning. We keep winning. We're just winning too much. We're winning so much that evidences are just disappearing as if never happened. We're shifting into an alternate reality, one where Epstein didn't even exist. Your grandchildren will grow up not knowing anything about what's going on right now. Your grandchildren will have kids who won't know anything about what's going on right now, except for whatever the schools tell them. And you're going to be crazy when you try to tell them the truth. Oh, it's just my crazy old grandma and my crazy old grandpa. He's senile. He's this, he's that, It's whatever conclusion of thought we can come to that makes us feel good. Ultimately, that's the bread and butter of the entire theologian doctrine system, whether it's Baptist, Methodist, Catholic, any one of them. It doesn't really matter. You name a doctrine of belief and there's errors in it. And it doesn't even matter that there's minor errors, little things, such as, maybe they do drink a little bit on Friday and Saturday. The issue comes down to the awareness of understanding or the awareness of knowledge. You know what day the Sabbath is, and it's not Sunday. So why do you do it on that day? Just because it's easier. Just because it's easier to go ahead and do what everybody else is doing or what everybody else tells you to do than it is to stand on your ground. If you do, you're that weird group that goes to church on Saturday over there. It's why, though? Yes, that's my question. Why do we like it to be so easy? And then why is liking it to be easy so bad? I mean, I don't want my kids to struggle. I don't want my kids to grow up coming home from work, having to sit for 45 minutes on the phone trying to get to a real person so you can get your power turned back on. Heaven forbid something happens and you got to call them back. I don't want them to have to struggle like me, but at the same time, I don't want them to be spoiled. I don't want them to be out here thinking they can do whatever. I'm riding down the road yesterday with my new boss. We're talking and I get something in the corner of my eye and I look over and there's a mother getting in a car with 3 young ladies. And they're all out there twerking. I mean, they're just getting down. It's the funniest thing to see. They're just out there in public just doing the thing. Good evening, Miss Trish. Good to see you. Good to see you, Miss Jenny Layton, Tartarian Prepper. But I'm like, goodness gracious, why do we have such a lack of self-control in society? Why is it so important to prove a point? Or to be right? Why is it so important that everybody look at you, I guess, the way you want them to, if what the way you want isn't reflective of who you really are? We do what's easy because we're lazy. I guess rebellious in nature. The little season is a time of deception. It's a time in the Bible that's coming through fruition right now in real time. There are deceivers all around you. Everywhere you look, someone is lying to your face, whether they mean to or not. And I say mean to or not because not everybody's aware that what they're doing is wrong. On one hand, we are held accountable to the things we know, just as much as we are held accountable to the things we don't know. When it comes to that book and the words in it, I don't know that we have much excuse not to know it. And your knowing of it doesn't have to be perfect. Good Lord. Heaven forbid and forgive and forget Rev if he says something out of pocket or that's wrong. How dare him. Think to know rather than think to be able to abuse that knowledge. I don't know why I'm so cold. I guess it's because I've been out in the sun and the heat all day. I'm really kind of wore out. I almost didn't go live tonight. Mr. Val is the reason I went live tonight, if I'm being real honest. He asked when I was going live again, and I told him tonight, and earlier I listened to a guy who had a cold, but I'm thinking, my goodness, I guess if they can do it, I can do it. And if I said I was going to do it, maybe I should. It's important that we do what's right. My dad was real big on integrity. I don't know why I'm shaking so bad, but I'm shaking because I'm cold and kind of sweaty at the same time. It's kind of weird. But it's interesting the times we're in. There's not much room for integrity. You go out there in the real world and the nicest looking person will cut your feet out right in front of you if it means getting ahead of you. I've seen grown people fight over who gets to buy the movie ticket next. I was here first type of thing. In the same regard, you've got those people are butting in line, being rude, being disrespectful. I mean, I guess the point is, it's not all good out there, but there's a lot of good in it. There's a lot of good people. There's a lot of wheat among the tares. It's not like there's not millions of people, billions of people in the world. Surely some of them are good, The point is, a little season, as far as the community is concerned, it's not about winning. It's about understanding. It's about knowing your neighbor and loving them. It's about understanding Christ the way he was meant to be understood, and not the way some man who profits off of it tells you. Maybe there'll come a day or a point where Truth Unfiltered is my bread and butter. But it won't be because of my lack of merit or effort, and it won't be because of the lack of you, the chat community. But regardless of that, the goal is not stable in the idea of me ever becoming wealthy off of this, or becoming a millionaire or billionaire or whatever, any of that. Goal ultimately is that one day I won't be here. When you understand your mortality, life seems a little bit more precious to you, and one day I won't be here in one way or the other. Whether it's natural causes or not, it don't matter. One day I won't be here. But what will be here are my words. And the people that my words mean the most to me getting to their ears are the little ones who I've yet to meet because they have not yet been born. That's my kids, youngins, as soon as they have them, whether it's now or later, preferably way later. But regardless, one day I won't be here. And man, if one of my parents had 100 and something videos, I'd want to watch them and listen to them. Even if I didn't like or agree, I think I would just enjoy having that around. So ultimately, it's for that. So a lot of my content, as far as what I'm going to talk about and go over and discuss, is usually I'm going to go over it the way I would if I were talking right to him. And honestly, the way like I talk with my 18-year-old when he's sitting right over here beside me. I think it's important to speak to people the way you want them to speak to you. I talk to you, the audience, and the chat community with an understanding that you're not dumb. I know that you guys know a thing or two. I know that you guys understand words. I know that a lot of you have read the scripture, have read the Bible, have read this book, and understand a good bit of it, know a lot of it. I know that. This entire community is filled with knowledgeable people. Everybody understands things from different angles, yet we've all came to the same point of origin, which is the search for truth. That search for truth is what really ultimately leads you to Christ. It's not a song you hear and a guy telling you to walk down the aisle. Come on, come down here, follow me, pray with me, you will be saved. You say a little prayer, ask Jesus to come into your heart. You love him, please forgive me for all my sins. Go sit down, we'll get back to you later. We'll come and baptize you and you'll be saved. It's a process, a tradition, a process of order. It makes things easier. It makes it so easier that you never have a reason to ask, who is God? What exactly is God? What am I and where did I come from for real? The little season is about people who are discovering their way out of the miseries that come with the deceptions of the world around you. Whether it's my channel, JT's channel, Paul's channel, Alpha Talk's channel. I see Cosmo and Cal TV. I don't know if that's the channel, but it's their channel. Welcome, by the way, Brother Dale, welcome. Doesn't matter who you listen to. We're all talking about the same thing. Jay Dreamers, myself, Miles, Brother Scott. He didn't repeat my words verbatim. He said the same thing, though. I'd say something. It means this. I'd say, yeah, it's awesome. We understand the same thing. We've been taught different words and how to use them differently. And through the use of those words, that understanding is what has guided us through this journey and discernment, figuring out which path to take, this way or that way. The little season is about coming together as true body of Christ. The little season is about figuring out and understanding that you can Walk up to any individual person out there and understand that that is your brother or your sister. And that is someone you would lay down and die for. And there's a lot of people that would do that for just any old body. But there's a lot of people that wouldn't. How do you know this? You can look it up on YouTube. And what is YouTube? It's videos. Who takes the picture? The person doing nothing. Who's writing the books? The person doing nothing. And I mean that respectfully. Writing books are, I guess, hard for people. I don't know why it's so easy for me to do certain things. I don't know, knock a book out in a month. And I can do this off the top of the dome. I often wonder why. Why can't other people think like I do or see things the way I see it? I'm constantly surrounded by people who kind of look at things and go, yeah, we're going to do it like this. And I'll kind of look at them like, are you even trying to think? I mean, there's 10 other ways to approach this. What's going on? What's your school of thought? Truth is, we're all deceived, every one of us, and we've all been deceived on everything you can imagine to be deceived on. There are going to be people that try to take over this quote unquote little season community. They're going to try to sabotage it. They're going to try to break it apart. They're going to try to divide it, and they're going to try to create little unions of groups here and there. There are people that are going to come after every part of this thing. And the bigger you get in the YouTube space, the more people come after you. It's just a thing that happens. But not just that, it's a division. I don't listen to that guy no more. I'm going to listen to this guy over here. Or I don't like the way that guy looks, but I like the way this guy looks. I don't like the way this guy talks, but I like the way this guy talks. It's one reason or another, and a lot of times those reasons are justifiable. It's not to say that it's wrong to pick who you listen to. It's just usually we fell into the discernment part of looking into the ones we do listen to. Brother Mad Pax, good evening. Good to see you. Miss Linda Smedley, good to see you as well. First timer, awesome. Blessing. What a blessing. Good to see you guys here. Good to see you guys here. But yeah, the little season is it's like a miracle on bread, a sandwich waiting to be eaten. As soon as you're done, you'll be fulfilled in, peace. That's what comes next. You get to a point where you realize it really don't matter what you don't know. It's probably better that you don't know certain things. Some people can't handle the truth. It's in movies. Jack Nicholson said that, I believe, to give credit where credit's due. Apparently, I don't do that enough. It is what it is, though. I mean, I can't be guilty and innocent all at the same time. I mean, I'm either pure or I'm not. And I've never declared one way or the other. I just know I'm not good. I try to be as righteous as I can be, and I endeavor for the truth. But ultimately, I only know what I know because of what I've seen, experienced, and have actually looked into myself. The same as any one of you in chat or any other channel for that matter. Anyone who puts a good bit of work into the system that they're working on or building or living in, they're going to have success and they're going to grow and mature within that part of that system. I think for me, growing up in the little season, I've always been confused about which way to go, left or right. Because I knew and I've always understood that with every choice of division of left or right, that if I go this way, it's going to upset this person and make this person happy. And if I go this way, well, this person will be happy this time, but then this person will be upset. But if I could make them both happy, I can't do that. It's out of my realm. Is how do you make two opposing views happy? Like two people that just, I'm over here, you're over there. How do you make them line up, pull together? Bam, one, unison. Super easy, everything's super easy. How do you do that and have society of individuals? And how do you get a bunch of individuals to act like they're individuals but yet not be? How do you control these minds and these people and their thoughts and their ways and their actions? These people, these Gentiles, these Israelites, these Ishmaelites, all these different people. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, or what your point of origin is. Every one of us have been lied to and deceived, and it's on a grand scale level. It doesn't matter what the earth looks like. Every person on it that is aware of this modern age society has been deceived in everything we know. And it's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people because of pride. Pride is, oh man, that is tearing y'all up. God bless, it is tearing y'all up. Pride is killing people causing people to err in ways that are just unfathomable. I couldn't even bear to play the whole video. I think I played 2 or 3 minutes of a 13-minute news clip of 17,000 babies found dead in a shipping container by the dock workers. Just mutilated baby parts all over the place. One of the guys said when he opened the container door, boom, body parts, a leg fell on his foot, and body parts rolled out the door. The smell was terrible. But yet, I've also seen a lot of good things on TV too, in the news. At least it seems good. I guess it's nice to see people up there dancing and singing, talking about things that aren't real. Perhaps a lot of times that is the case. At least it's not like all misery. It's not all just gory nonsense. The problem is what's good for you and what's not is, to me, very simple. It's Jesus's way or your way. And your way can be his way, her way, their way. It don't matter. Any way that's other than Jesus's way. That, in fact, in reality, would be the truth of things. And I choose the path that is hard, that is difficult, more often than not. Today I fought a half-broken rib as I shoveled dirt and mud, wincing in pain every now and then as I shoveled that dirt, knowing I'm the new guy and that's the last thing I need to be doing is complaining about how I feel at work. I'm blessed to be there. I'm blessed to know the people that I'm being surrounded with in this little season, because I'm finding a lot of people that I can call and trust and rely on, especially in times of need. Not that I've had to call anybody for anything, but everyone has made it clear that they're available. Everyone in this community has made it clear that all we want is peace and love for everyone, and for us, the way to get there is through Christ. And we all understand there's only one way. There's literally no other way. Whether you look at it from an atheistic, agnostic perspective or a scientifically mortified engineer perspective, you always end up with the same results. It's impossible for us to truly have what we're desiring without Jesus Christ. To understand that, you really have to read that book, but you have to read all of it. And I think I've realized that there's a lot of people that have read this thing, or all of it, at least a lot of it. But I don't know, it just feels a little different to me. It feels like they're not just not seeing it. Yeah, I know you hear these words that you're reading. You see them and you're reading them and you know what they mean. You know what knock on my door means. You know what that means. You know what that means. But why do we miss it? Like, why do we miss the points that it makes? Why do we miss the truth in it? And why does it seem so cryptic and mystical and deceptive? Why does it seem that way? It's because we've been taught not to lean on ourselves first at all either. We've been taught to lean on education. We've been taught not to lean even on our own selves. We've been taught to lean on books written by men. I'm rolling my eyes for those that are just listening. I'm rolling them because even the Bible was written by men. All things are written by men or women, but all things that you can read have been written by a person, by a regular human being who breathed air just like you and me. The issue becomes where's the point of their inspiration coming from when they write these words? Like, who's encouraging them? The little season helped me understand the truth about this Bible, that it's hard to prove, and a lot of people don't agree with it. But it has to do with when I personally think this Bible was written, like the original version of it. And I don't think it was written in that time period, 1611. But it could have been. I wasn't there. I can't say one way or the other. But what I can say is, between this book here and all other books, it's the only one that seems to have any real answers worthwhile in it. It's the only book that that really has any truth in it, worth any value. All other books are good and cool to a degree. They're kind of good, I guess. They help build understanding when you start asking the hard questions. And I mean the hard questions like, what about this? What about that? What if I don't do exactly what this book says? What if I make a mistake? Like the what ifs. The Bible has those answers too, but it's hard to filter through them sometimes because of the way we're educated, the way we're already taught to look at it, the way we're already taught to understand it. We're given a timeline of events before we ever even pick this book up. The earth itself is billions. What's like 60 billion years old or something like that? Trillions of years old or whatever, some ungodly number of years old. To some, it's only a few thousand years old. But which Psalms are right? The Psalms that think it's old or the one, I mean, and does it really even matter which one is right? Can you change the results of either one of them? I mean, can you flatten it out or round it out yourself? Can you lay the foundation and set the pillars and lay the sky between land and water, breathing air into it so that we can survive? Are you the one that's going to do all that anyways? I mean, it's not like it matters. On one hand, it kind of does, though. Because what's the next thought you have if it's not what the earth looks like? What's the next thought? And how'd you come to that? Like, what led you there? What is leading you to understand and know the things you know? What is the little season? Well, it's a time of discovery. It's a time of understanding and of love. It's time for everyone to wake up and understand that it doesn't matter when in time you are, where you are, who you are, what you are, that God loves you. He designed this world for you to live in it. He told you to go out there, be fruitful and plentiful, and just inhabit the earth and live, enjoy life, and be peaceful. Love your neighbor. Simple. We got to complicate it and come up with other terms like winning. Well, in order to win, you got to have a loser. Who's going to be the loser? The losers are the ones who don't write the rules. The losers are the ones who don't write the history. The losers are the ones that don't write the thoughts that you rely on. The winners are the ones who control you. Control everything around you. They control your mind, your ways, your thoughts, your everything. And every individual person is playing along with that, allowing these people to believe they are what they are. Famous, big time, celebrity, hotshot, all the cool stuff. Look at him. He drives a Lamborghini. Not this one. But that guy must be special, must be doing something right. He's got a big house and nice car and a lot of money. I mean, God must love him. Or maybe it has nothing necessarily to do with God or anything other than that dude's efforts. He put in the work. He did the time. Put in his 8 years of college plus a 4-year internship and became a doctor. He sacrificed his youth, his 20s. He was still youthful in his 30s, and you're still youthful even then to a degree. You start to feel older as you get into your 40s. But it's a sacrifice that people make to become who they are within society today. And we can call it names and throw shade all day long. We can join the herds of masses just like I do it all the time. And we can call it out and say everybody's deceived. We can call them out and mock it and use the same rhetoric they use. Or we can lead by the Spirit that brought us here. Instead of having to look back and say, I'm sorry, God bless. I didn't mean to upset you or hurt your feelings. Whoever it is, whoever you are, might be nobody. But there's a way to address every choice that we have to make. Some doors have multiple options. Some you can push, the door will swing open. Some you got to turn a knob. Some you got to push a button, a key, a number in a pad, door slide open. Some you got to roll up. There's all kinds of doors. But if all you need is one door, only one kind is necessary. And in the little season, only one kind is necessary. There's only one thing that's really important, and that's Christ himself and you coming to him, and not some watered down, filtered version of him, not some I've been looking into this for 20 years version of him. The absolute. Bless you, Kelly, bless you. I've been looking into this for 20 years. Look at it my way. I don't even want you to do that, though. I think it's amazing that you guys will listen to what we have to say about this stuff, but I also think it's amazing that a lot of you will go and look this stuff up and make sure we're saying what's right and hold us accountable. Because some people are out here really, truly to deceive you. They benefit off of it in some way. It's like quotas. I hate quotas. I mean, it's good for businesses, I guess. In a way, it's good for unstructured people to be structured. But you start in the quotas, you start defining things. You then have to control. Because without control, you have to rely on people to individually control their own behaviors and do what's right. And when you start relying on individuals to just kind of just do things according to their own will and way and to just do right, you become hopelessly naive. And I know that's not a term of endearment for some of you that might have heard that, especially if you feel like things I'm saying target you. But understand this, no one is my target. I'm not here to cast shade on nobody. I'm not here to belittle anyone or berate anyone or undermine anybody. But just the same as my information and my videos and my content are out there for the public to see, so are yours for those who make them, who are other content creators. And so if we talk about each other's content, hopefully it's not to bring each other down, but to lift each other up. There's ways to correct people without making them feel retarded or dumb or ashamed. But like I said, there's many ways. There's so many different ways, and some of them are pretty good. But there's really only one real truth and one real way that's the way, And man, if you try real hard, I'm sure you can get a lot of them. You can get a lot of those ways right, and you can sail on down that river smoothly. But every one of us are going to get one of them wrong. Every one of us are going to deviate from the correct path at some point and branch off and form a new reality. Just like this new reality they're trying to build for us right now, right before your eyes. For long, it'll be silly for you to even believe that there was ever even a Epstein in a list to begin with. Like, what is that? They want you to forget about it. They don't want you worried about your neighbor. They don't want you worried about kids you won't ever meet. Millions of them, not thousands. They can say what they want to say. But there are millions of kids all over this world. I've seen things and experienced things that are unbearable for a lot of people. And there are a lot of things that I'd really love to tell y'all about. And I got to get with JT on that. I think he would be the best one for me to get some advice on in this community, as far as how to share stuff with you guys that is not really public stuff. But there are things that I know and have seen, and I live with that all the time. I'm living with something that most people will never live with. But the one thing we all will live with in some form or another is shame. Wishing we hadn't have done that. Wishing we had done better. Wishing we had done this or done that. We don't always think about, what would God do? What would Jesus say? How would they react? And if they were here right now watching me, how would I behave? Would I still open this door the same way? You can kick a door open, or you can turn the knob and sling it open, or you can turn the knob and open it easy. There are multiple ways to turn a door, but only one of them is the best way, even though they all may be considered the right way depending on who you're talking to. But how do you get them all to open it the same way every single time? If you listen to some people, they'll say you got to have an alien invasion. You got to have a World War III in some form or another. We got to kill a lot of y'all. Yeah, we got to kill a lot of people. We got to get rid of most of the world. And when we do that, then Jesus will come and save us all, at least us good ones. What do we need for us to come together today, though? Why do we have to just wait till tomorrow to just start doing right? And why do we have to wait for someone else to pull the trigger, or to lay the trap, or to open the door, or to speak the word first? Whatever event it might be that leads to the discovery of this next phase of us, whether it's a new age here on a earth rebuilt, made new, reformed, or rolled up like a scroll and got rid of and totally remade new. But if that happens, what about us in the meantime? Well, we're supposed to just be sitting up in heaven waiting for him to make this new earth. How long is it going to take? 6 days, 7 days, 1 day, instantaneously? We don't really want to sit up there, all day, do we? What is this heaven, and why do I have to die anyways? What is the point of all this? All these different questions we might end up having. We don't have to worry about that when you enter into the little season, especially join the communities that come along with it. It's just like love everywhere. And yeah, you'll see a little seasoner here and there arguing and bickering back and forth with somebody. We're all going to do that. Peter and Paul, my God, they argued all the time. There's a saying about them too, We don't really understand where these people are coming from, though, because we don't understand what life was like. I almost had an argument with somebody about how they were way more advanced than us. It's not long ago, but pretty far back in our history. And we've almost reached to the same level of technology, but it's reversed technology. It's reverse engineered technology. It's why we use things like electricity rather than magnetism. And that's a whole nother discussion, a whole nother podcast, a whole nother episode is what that is. But we've learned to filter out the truth by learning to engage our own thoughts. But our thoughts are filled with useless knowledge, useless information. I think people have even accused me of that many times, being filled with useless knowledge. I don't know. It seems useful to me. At least I know it will be at some point, or maybe. And I apologize for y'all that are watching. I keep sliding down into my chair, but I have to lean a certain way in this chair, or this daggone rib pokes my side and it hurts. It'll stop hurting in a few weeks, though. And I know that. Crazy thing is, I also know that if we could all behave right, it could be healed tomorrow. But we can't behave right. We can't help each other without charging each other. We can't do for our neighbors the way we want them to do for ourselves. Just like we don't treat each other that way either. But this community does online. They reach out. They talk to each other. They communicate. I mean, I'm a part of several different discords. I got everybody muted. Even myself, I think, is muted. I didn't do that for any other purpose other than I couldn't figure out how to keep it from dinging whenever I'm talking to you guys. I don't want y'all to be like, dang, I'm hearing this Discord bell. I know there's a way to do it. I just don't feel like looking into it. It's easier to just mute everything. But, sometimes silence is good. Silence is a behavior I had to learn to bear, being forced as a kid to just shut up and listen. Just do what I tell you, really. Not even listen, just obey. Don't matter what you think or what you thought or what you understood. Just do what I tell you. It's simple. In all of society, it's that way. There's this little street I used to go down to go to my old work, my old company. And there's this building on this corner you can get to from the main road. It's really easy, actually, because you pull off the main road and you're right in the parking lot. But for whatever reason, people have discovered that it's quicker to go this way, go this other way. It's a longer way around, actually. And it's a road not well designed for two cars, but one car is going to go off the road a little bit if two come passing each other. And man, every morning I drive through there and golly, it's like someone's got to come through there. And I've got to pull over, stop, wait on them to creep on by so they can get to their destination, so I can get to mine. Man, one morning, this lady ruined it for all the would-be approachers to me on that road from that day forward. One lady ruined it all. I was coming down that street, no problem. But there's like a little creek part that I had already crossed over. And I was exactly one car length from my turn to go to my office street. And this lady come up, and she had her truck parked, pulled up, stopped right there, wouldn't let me, wouldn't move, wouldn't back up just a hair so I could get on. She waves her hands at me, tells me to back up. Her eyes big, her big Karen eyes come popping out that dome of hers. Almost slapped me in the face with them. I just stared at her with a blank expression and put it in reverse and backed up. Let her go on to her destination. Though through all of her effort, it would have been not only quicker for both of us for her to just back up for just a moment, that would have also been the best thing to do. She chose every other path but that one, because it's the only one that didn't serve her first. It's the only one she couldn't walk into the office and say, I told that dude that comes down here, she couldn't brag about her sin. Because when you just do right and everybody does right, well, what's there to talk about? What, you want me to give you a cookie for doing right? At least that's how we think we would approach it, right? At least some of us. Doing what's right it is supposed to feel good because it is good. It's supposed to make you a good person, a joyful person. It's supposed to make you love people in the way you're supposed to love them. And it's supposed to make life better for you and for everyone. What is purpose is your destiny. Your destiny is found as you experience it. There's only one really that can know the past, present, and the future, and to know it all at once. In a way, a lot of people consider themselves godlike because they know past, present, and future. They've read the Bible. They've read it so much that they know past, present, and future. And therefore, they must be God here on earth, here to save us. Thank you guys for knowing everything. Thank the preachers for baptizing all of us. I mean, where would we be without them? Thank all the scoffers for setting up troll camp right in the middle of the chat for the ones that do that. I mean, God bless. A little season doesn't have to be complicated. This season, today, you, me, in it, doesn't have to be complicated. And if y'all are wondering what I'm looking at over here, I'm staring at a blank screen. I think I got my channel pulled up. Yeah. Right there. Here, let me make that bigger. This is what I'm looking at. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let's see. There it is. Oh, that's my. How'd that pull up there? That's what. Oh yeah. Well, I guess I am looking at that. That's in a different tab, but it's not what's on my screen. What's on my screen is that's what I'm. That's what I'm looking at over here. For those of you that are watching and wondering what I keep staring off over here. I'm just thinking, just brainstorming thoughts. Not really though. On one hand, I'm just really talking. Whatever comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth. That's a trick. A friend taught me that. I guess I could give him credit for that. Mr. John Fry. Mr. John Fry told me just talk. God will guide you. If you let him, just let him. Ask God to guide your words, and he'll tell you what to say, when to say it. And he's right. And so I do. Problem is, God ain't going to tell me which door to open. He's just going to show me. Showing people and telling them is two different things, just like what I'm doing right now. Showing you, telling you, are two different things. This is Genesis chapter 29. Genesis chapter 29 starts one of my favorite stories of all time. And I know we're not supposed to idolize biblical stories, but Genesis chapter 29 starts my most favorite story. Because it's a love story. It's a story with passion and sorrow and deceit and all the little things that you would desire in a drama, a romantic drama at that. But it's a tragedy. What is that called? A dramedy or something like that? A romance that ends in tragedy? I can't remember. There's like a term for that now, right? Since we're about labeling things. But chapter 29, Genesis, starts one of my most favoriteest stories. My most favoriteest story. And I've always wanted to share it with people. I always wanted to be able to say, hey, look, come listen to this story. But then it becomes, man, that's the Bible. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to listen to that. I'm like, why? Why not? Just listen. Just hear me out. And so for those in chat, welcome, by the way. I know that we are blessed with quite a few visitors this evening. This is amazing. Good morning, Donut. I see you've been able to make it to alive. That's awesome, brother. I hope hope we haven't disturbed your morning and woke you up too early. He's on the other side of town. I'm way over here on the other end in the hood. Exheliocentric, welcome to the CDM in the season, Satan's little season. Right, yeah, absolutely. Welcome, Satan's little season. Welcome in, guys. You guys are awesome. To look over here for chat. But I want to read this to you. This is a good story, man. This is not like it has to be this lesson you learn from it. But I mean, it could just be a good story. Chapter 29, it says, Then Jacob went on his journey and came into the land of people of the east. Why is he going on this journey? What led him to that? Well, he had to leave home. He had to leave home because his brother was going to try to kill him. His brother was mad at him because he took something from him. He did what he was told to do, though, but still, he took something from his brother. His brother was a taker, too, though. And that didn't make him any better. Instead of doing right, he chose to do even worse. But it says, Jacob went on a journey, and he came into the land of the people of the east, and he looked, and behold, a well in the field, and lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered the flocks, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And thither were all the flocks gathered, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and they watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in its place. And Jacob said to them, My brethren, whence be ye? And they said, Haran are we. And he said unto them, Know ye Laban, the son of Nahor? And they said, Yeah, we know him. And he said to them, Is he well? Is he good? You know where he's at? And he said, Yeah, he's well. And behold, Rachel is his daughter, cometh with the sheep. And he said, Whoa, it is yet high day. Neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together. Water ye the sheep, and go feed them. And they said, We cannot, until all the flocks be gathered together, until they roll the stone from the well's mouth. Then we water the sheep. So Miss Rachel, somebody to help her. And while he yet spake with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel, and lifted up his voice, and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass, pause, Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. Now, I love the beauty of this book because it don't give you any kind of context there, really. Like, why'd he kiss her? I mean, what's he saying as he lifts his voice up? And what's he crying for? Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and I'm your uncle. I'm your father's brother. Was her father's brother? No, that's not right. And he was Rebekah's son, and she ran and told her father. But it does when you simplify it and you break it on down. Jacob kissed Rachel out of like a respect thing. It was like a tradition thing that they had. He lifted up his voice and wept because he couldn't believe his eyes. He had fallen in love with her at first sight. I mean, he just could not believe how beautiful this Rachel was. He could barely contain himself. He had to kiss her. Today he'd be in jail for sexual assault. I know we're not supposed to say that, but that's what it is. That's what they'd call it. That's what it'd be labeled as. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother and that he was Rebekah's son, and she ran and told her father. And it came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him. He was so happy. And he embraced him and kissed him. Well, what's he doing kissing Jacob? This man is kissing him? That's kind of odd, right? No, it's like a way they greet each other. They don't have to kiss each other on the lips. It's just like you see the French people do it. They do it on the side, I guess. It's just a way to greet each other. And brought him to his house, and he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. He gave him a place to stay for a whole month. And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me not? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? He's asking him to come work for him. You know, I need you to work for me, but tell me what you want, and I'll give that, and then you come work for me, and I'll give that to you. How much will your wages be? Simple. Laban had 2 daughters now. The name of the older daughter was Leah, and the name of the younger daughter was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. I don't know what tender-eyed means. Sure, it means, I don't know, maybe she looked like me. She wasn't as attractive, at least from Jacob's perspective, but it's written as if it was understood socially. Socially, everybody had a understanding that Rachel just so happened to be prettier. It doesn't make one person any better than the other. It's just the way it is. And Jacob loved Rachel. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. Now, for those of you who don't know this, y'all want to look it up. I believe she was 14, and I don't remember. I think he was way older. Like today, he would be, y'all would say it was like pedophilic or whatever the term would be. Because she was a 14-year-old and he was a grown man. He'd be in jail or be canceled. But this is Jacob. Loving her. He loved Rachel and said, I'll serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And so, in other words, I guess he's going to wait till she's 21, and then he's going to marry her. I don't guess it, but he's not looking at her. He's not. I don't know. I don't know how he's looking at her. I don't see this as him looking at her like he's desiring a young kid, which is how it would be painted by most society today. It's not that he's looking at a kid. To them, and in that era, in that time, 14 or 15, around that age, I guess, was about normal to get married and stuff. But even then, I think maybe even Jacob understood that 14 was a little bit too young. That's why he said, I'll work for you for 7 years. And then after that, he wants to marry Rachel, but she's 21. So he realized that, it's not like he's looking at her like, I want to marry her right now. She's a kid. I just know she's beautiful, she's pretty, and one day she's going to be grown up. I guess how he's looking at it. But people will look at that and try to see it the wrong way. It says, and Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. He said, you're right. It's better you have her than anybody else. It's better she be with you than anyone else. This is Laban basically praising Jacob. Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days for the love he had for her. That time flew by. It was nothing to him. 7 years, whatever. It's not a big deal. I got this. And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife. for my days are fulfilled that I may go in unto her. He's talking about he wants to go sleep with her. That's exactly what he's talking about. He's ready to marry her so he can sleep with her. That's all he's saying. That's all he's talking about. And that conversation can go however way you imagine it, except that it says, and Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah, his daughter, and brought her to him, and he went unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah, his maid, for a handmaid. And it came to pass in that morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, what hast thou hast done to me? Did not I serve thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? Like, why did you trick me? Like, what'd you do? I mean, you got me drunk and sent me to bed with the wrong daughter. Goodness, could you imagine how Leah feels? What about Leah? What about her feelings? Her feelings matter too, right? I mean, yeah, they do. But that has nothing to do with this. It's not what he wanted. He wanted Rachel, and Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years. He said, you hang out with me, you stay married to Leah for 7 years, now then I'll let you. Another 7 years, then you're going to let me marry Rachel? And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week. And he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also. 14 years. It took him 14 years. And Laban gave Rachel, his daughter, Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid. Now, ain't that crazy, though? That's wild. That's amazing, though. This dude dealt with this man and his family for 14 years to be able to marry this girl. Of course, she'd be about 28 years old at this point. Well, she's still young, though. It's not like she's old. I mean, 28 is not old, but it's a lot older than like 40 or 50 or however old he was. It's young to that, compared to that, I guess is the right way to say that. And he went also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and he served him yet 7 years. Another 7 years. That's 21 years. He marries them. He marries both these girls and ends up having to serve 7 years for both of them. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived and bare a son. She called his name Reuben, the first of the Israelites, of the tribes of Israel. For she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband would love me. Maybe if we have a kid, he'll love me. A lot of women are victims of that today. I think if they just get pregnant, he'll stop cheating on me. He'll stop lying to me. He'll stop doing the things he's doing to hurt me. If I just get pregnant, if I could just have a kid, everything will be okay and everything will be good. We have a lot of people that think like that today. And she conceived again and bare another son, and said, because the Lord hath heard I was hated, he had therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. And she conceived again, and she bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, for I have had 3 kids. This one we call Levi. And she conceived again, and bare another son. His name was Judah. That's 4 kids this woman gave this man. But you got to keep in mind too now, if he hates her so much, why does he keep sleeping with her? I don't know why he hates her, but he don't like her, but yet he keeps sleeping with her. At the same time, he loves Rachel more. You'd think he'd be tied up nonstop sleeping with Rachel, but I don't know. I guess maybe he lost the fire because she couldn't have any kids. Maybe that's why he keeps having kids with Leah. It's not up to any of us to declare what's supposed to have happened or should happen or would. It's for us to read it and decide. That's what it says. Because then it says, and when Rachel saw that she was bare, that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister, and said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die. I mean, she's the popular girl, yet she envies the unpopular girl. And often the unpopular person or girl envies the popular girl. But I don't know if I'd want those troubles. Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, am I in God's stead, who had withheld from thee the fruits of the womb? And she said, behold, my maid Bilhah, go unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. And Jacob they had a son. Rachel said, God hath judged me, and hath heard my voice, and hath given me a son. Therefore call his name Dan. But Rachel takes him and adopts him, like tries to raise him as her own. But that Bilhah conceived again, and that was Naphtali. He said, and Rachel said, with great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah her maid, and gave her Jacob to the wife. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. And Leah said, a troop cometh, and she called his name Gad. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, she bare Jacob another son. And Leah said, happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest, and found mandrakes in the field, and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrakes. And she said unto her, is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband? And wouldst thou take my son's mandrakes also? And Rachel said, well, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrakes. And Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him and said, thou must come unto me, sleep with me, is what she's saying. For surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes. And he lay with her that night. And God hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived, and bare Jacob the fifth son. And Leah said, God hath given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband. And she called his name Issachar. And Leah conceived again, and bare Jacob the sixth son. And Leah said, God hath imbued me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him six sons. And she called his name Zebulun. And afterwards she bare a daughter, and called her name Dinah. And God remembered Rachel, and God hearkened to her, and opened her womb. And she conceived, and bare a son, and said, God hath taken away my reproach. And she called his name Joseph, and said, the Lord shall add to me another son. And it came to pass, when Rachel had borne Joseph, that Jacob said unto Laban, please send me away, that I may go into my own place, into my own country. I want to go home. Tired of being here. Let me take my wives and my children, for whom I have served thee, and let me go, for thou knowest my service which I have done. Give me my wives and my children, for I have served thee, and let me go, for thou knowest my service for which I have done thee. And Laban said unto him, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thine eyes, tarry, for I have learned by experience that the Lord hath blessed me for thy sake. And he said, appoint me thy wages, and I will give it. Tell me how much you need, and I'll give it to you. No problem, I got you. You go, get them, take them, get out of here. And he said unto them, thou knowest how I have served thee, and how thy cattle with me. And how he's basically telling them, you know how much I have. Like, you know what I got and what I don't have. For it was little which thou hast before I came, and it is now increased until a multitude. And the Lord hath blessed thee since my coming. And now, when shall I provide for mine own house also? He wants his own place. I mean, don't all of us want our own place? At least, I don't know, I kind of want my own place. I don't mind sharing a place, but I want my own place. That's all he wants. And he said, what shall I give thee? And Jacob said, thou shalt not give me anything. If thou wilt do this thing for me, I'll go again and feed and keep thy flock. And I will pass through all thy flock today, removing from thence all the speckled and spotted cattle, and all the brown cattle among the sheep, and the spotted and speckled among the goats, and of such shall be my hire. He's saying, don't worry, I got you. I'll take care of this whole day for you. Just let me go. So shall my righteousness answer for me in time to come, when it shall come to my hire before thy face, every one that is not speckled or spotted among the goats, and brown among the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me. And Laban said, behold, I would it might be according to thy word. And he removed that day the he goats, the boy goats that were ring-streaked and spotted, and all the she-goats that were speckled and spotted. And every one that had some white in it, and all the brown among the sheep, gave them into the hands of his sons. I mean, he's working hard. He's dividing all these sheep out, spreading them around and dividing the flock the way it should, so that they don't mix the different colors of wool together. You know, they don't want the brown sheep mating with the white sheep, because you'll have spotted wool. And spotted wool is I guess it's harder to deal with. I don't know. But that's what they were doing. But that's the reason they were doing it. It wasn't racism. You know, they're not segregating them by race. They're not, but in a way they kind of are. But it's sheep. Often we get called sheep. Regular people get called sheep. And they revert back to scriptures like this, and then they start to look at people like they're animals, not as people. We're sheep, but not real sheep, but are real sheep. We're God's sheep. And he set 3 days' journey between himself and Jacob. And Jacob fed the rest of Laban's flock. And Jacob took him rods of green poplar and of the hazel and chestnut tree, and piled with strakes in them, and made the white appear which was in the rods. And he set the rods which he piled before the flocks in the gutters in the watering troughs, when the flocks came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. That they'll be full, they'll have plenty. And the flocks conceived before the rods, and brought forth cattle ring-straight, speckled and spotted. And Jacob did separate the lambs, and set the faces of the flocks, and all at him. And he's working. All this is him working. And the man increased exceedingly, and had much cattle, and maidservants, and men servants, and camels, and asses. It's just like telling you, I mean, he had a lot going on. I mean, he's amassed a small little, wealthy little mini fortune over the years, working for his father-in-law. And he heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Jacob hath taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's hath he gotten all this glory. You know, his Laban's sons are kind of jealous, because they included Jacob's wealth as their own. They didn't realize Jacob was, nope, that's mine. I made that. I earned that, not you. And the Lord said unto Jacob, return unto the land of thy fathers. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and beheld it was not towards him as before. I mean, he was mad. And the Lord said unto Jacob, return unto the land of thy fathers, to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock, and said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not towards me as before, but God my Father has been with me. And you know that with all my power I have served your father. And this is Jacob telling Laban, his uncle, look, you know I serve the same God you serve. I mean, what is your problem with me? And the father had to seize me and change my wages 10 times, but God suffered him not to hurt me. You know, he's letting him know, you keep taking from me and stealing from me. I mean, I'm working hard for you, and you're barely paying me anything. And you know, it's God. That's what he's saying. God suffered him not to hurt me. I mean, you have God to thank that I ain't done anything to him. That's what Jacob's thinking. If he had said this, the speckled shall all be thy wages, then all the cattle bear speckled. And if he said this, the ring straight shall be thy hire, then bear all the cattle ring straight. Thus God hath taken away the cattle of your father, and given them to me. And it came to pass at the time the cattle conceived, that I lifted up my eyes, and saw in a dream, and behold the rams which leaped upon the cattle, which ring straight, speckled and grizzled. And the angel of God spake unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob. And I said, here am I. And he probably said it like, whoa, here am I. Like, what? I mean, he's probably scared. I don't know how he said it, but he says, here am I. And he said, lift up my eyes, and you see all the rams which leap upon the cattle are ring straight, speckled and grizzled. For I have seen all that Laban doeth unto thee. I am the God of Bethel, where thou anointest the pillar, and where thou vowest a vow unto me. Now arise, get thee out from this land, and return unto the land of thy kindred. And Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him, is there yet any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? You think Brother Dojo might be going to bed, or somebody's going to bed here pretty soon. He's listening. He's got stuff going on. That's Brother Dojo. I appreciate you being here, Brother Dojo. Brother Madpack says, I was just typing all that myself. Good evening, everyone. Thank you guys for being here. Man, it's such a blessing to have you guys in chat. Join me as I'm going over this stuff, just to hang out and talk, chat. Sometimes it's good to just bounce ideas off each other. Right here it says, and Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him, is there yet any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not counted to him as strangers? I mean, for we have sold us and have quite devoured also all our money. I mean, you've taken everything from us. I mean, do you not? Are we just like strangers to you now? For all the riches which God hath taken from our father, that is ours and our children's. Now then, whatsoever God hath said unto thee, and Jacob rose up and set his sons and wives upon camels. And he carried away all his cattle and all his goods which he had gotten, and the cattle of his getting, which he had gotten in Pandanaram, for to go to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan. And Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the images that were her father's. She stole his idols, or whatever it is he was idolizing, something that she thought was important. And Jacob stole away unawares to Laban and Syrian, in that he told him not that he fled. In other words, Jacob didn't know this. He didn't know that Rachel stole that. So he fled with all that he had, and he rose up and passed over the river and set his face towards Mount Gilead. And it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob was gone. And he took his brethren with him, and they went after him 7 days. 7 days later they catch up to him. Laban the Syrian in a dream by night said unto them, take heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. And Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the mount of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, what hast thou done, that thou hast stolen away unawares to me, and carried away my daughters as captives taken with the sword? Wherefore did thou flee away secretly, and steal away from me, and didn't tell me, that I might have sent thee away with myrrh, and with songs, with tablets, and with harp? Why'd you take from me, man? Why'd you lie to me? And hast thou not suffered me to kiss my sons and my daughters, that thou hast now done foolishly in so doing? It is in the power of my hand to do you. But the God of your father spake unto me yesternight, saying, take heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. And now, though thou wouldest need me be gone, because thou sore longest after thy father's house, yet wherefore hast thou stolen my gods? He said, you know you took my idol. Where is it? Jacob answered and said, Laban, because I was afraid, for I said, peradventure, that thou wouldst take by force thy daughters from me. With whomsoever thou findest thy gods, let him not live. Before our brethren discern thou what is thine with me, and take it to thee, for Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them. Jacob was so confident he'd take it. He's like, come on, let's go look. But at the same time, if I do find somebody with this idol, you dead. Because he had servants. You know, he wasn't just him and his wife. He had him and his wife and all his wives and all their kids. And of course, they'd have servants as well. And Laban went into Jacob's tent and into Leah's tent and into everyone's tent. He couldn't find anything. And he entered Rachel's tent. Nothing. Now Rachel had taken the images and put them in the camel's furniture. It sat upon them. And Laban searched all the tent, but found them not. And she said to her father, let it not displease my lord that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of women is upon me. And he searched, but found not the images. She lied and said she was on her monthly moment, just so she wouldn't have to get up, because she was sitting on them idols. And Jacob was angry and chode with Laban. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, what is my trespass? Like, what did I do? What's my sin? What do you accuse me of? Why'd you come all the way out here? Whereas thou hast searched all my stuff, and you found nothing. You found not a thing. That you may judge betwixt us both. His 20 years have I been with thee. This 20 years I've been with you. And all your goats and ewes, young and ram and flock, have I not eaten? That which was toward a beast I brought not unto thee. I bear the loss of it. Of my hand didst thou require it. He said, He'd go out and hunt, and if he was to bring a wild beast in from hunting or any reason, he killed a big animal. He's saying Laban's going to take everything and give him a leg. Here, go feed all your kids and your family. That which was born of the beast, like thus I was in the day that brought soon me, and frost by night, and my sleep departed from my eyes. I mean, I've worked all hours of the night for you in all kinds of bad weather, and been with you 20 years in your house, and I've been serving you for 14, and for your for your two daughters, and for 6 years the cattle in that house changed, and my wages, you changed my wages 10 times. Like, you just cannot make your mind up on how little you want to pay me. Except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me. Surely thou hast sent me away now empty. God has sent my affliction, and labored my hands, and rebuked thee yesternight. And Laban answered and said unto Laban, these daughters are my daughters, and these my children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle, and all that thou seest is mine. And what can I do this day unto these of my daughters, or unto their children which they have been born? Like, he's saying, I mean, golly, I mean, you got everything, dude. Like, you're taking everything that you have. Well, that's everything I thought I had. Now therefore come. Now let us make a covenant. Now let it be a witness between me and you. And Jacob took a stone and set it up on a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, gather stones. And they took stones and made a heap. And they did eat thereupon the heap. They basically made a table. They piled them up and then laid a board or something on top of these rocks. And Laban called it Jegar-sahadutha, but Jacob called it Galeed. Okay, so it's just basically saying they're talking about the same thing, but they're calling it something different. And Laban said, this heap is a witness between me and this day. Therefore was the name of it called Galeed. Actually, I don't know why I said the board thing, because it doesn't say that. I guess it's just like a stone monument is what it is, basically. Like, from between your house and mine, we have to cross this path anyways. We'll always see this pile of rocks, and it'll be a memory between you and me. So, like, if I'm at home and you're at home and I get mad at you and I come storming through, I'll see this pile of rocks and I'll know, okay, all right, we're good. We're good. We made a promise. That's basically all that is, really. But that's pretty fascinating. It's kind of beautiful in its own right. And Mizpah, for he said, the Lord which watched between me and thee when we were absent from one another. If thou shalt afflict my daughters, if thou shalt take other wives besides my daughters, no man is with us. See, God is witness between me and thee. He's basically saying, letting them know, hey, look, I'll let you go, but you're going to have to, like, stay true to my kids. Like, don't be messing around with other people. And Laban said, Jacob, behold, this heap, this pillar, which I have cast between you and me. This heap be witness, this pillar be witness, and that I will not pass over this heap to thee, that thou shalt not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me for harm. The God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge betwixt us. And Jacob sware by the fear of his father Isaac. It's interesting. There are a ton of stone heaps throughout, like, England, but they're all like walls. It's like long walls, but they're all short walls. I mean, they're not holding anybody out. They're not keeping anybody out. They're all like 3-4 foot tall, something like that. I mean, you could easily build a ramp and wheel a cart over them. But they're all over England, these stone things. And also, places like England, Ireland, that whole region, the UK. You have a lot of that stonework up there. It's just interesting stuff that comes to mind as I read this stuff. Things I remember seeing. I know there's people potentially in chat that have, gone through that, knows what I'm talking about, I guess. Hey, Allison M., good to see you. Hey, you have a Zoom, I believe, Allison M., or you guys are talking about. And that's really neat, and that's awesome. I'd like to participate in that with you guys, if you don't mind leaving the info for that. But just for you guys that are curious, if you guys want a community or a place to be able to chat, either like chat or video chat, either way, like we do whenever us content creators get together, if you don't want to pay for it, there's always Discord. Because in Discord, you can join someone's Discord and go into the voice channels and just turn your camera on if you want to show yourself or just talk. Discord is free. And I have a Discord at Truth Unfiltered, and the link is on my own page on YouTube. But I think it's open for anyone to join. If you guys ever want to get in there and join, just hop in the group discussion. You could also make your own Discords as well. Everybody can do that, just like you can in Telegram and other places like that as well. But yeah, if you don't mind, I mean, I'd like to join your Zoom once in a while. If you guys are Zooming, I think that'd be fun. Be cool. See, Barry Burkholder is in the house as well. Sorry, I didn't mean to tear your name up right there. Good night, and good night, Mr. Brother Joe Simone. Prayers and blessings. But we do have a Discord, Truth Unfiltered. I'm not going to finish reading this tonight, but the beauty in this is what's amazing is when you get into, I think it's chapter 32, 34, 35. It's when Rachel dies. She dies giving birth to Benjamin on their way to home. Like they don't even make it. I mean, this dude left his home, served his uncle for 21 years, or 20 years, 20, 21 years, all because he wanted to marry this woman, have a family with her, and have his own life with her. And when he finally gets the opportunity to take her home, she in childbirth. A lot of people would end up resenting their child for being born. Their spouse passed away. It's a sad reality. Fortunately, that's not the case. However, Joseph now was Rachel's firstborn. You can't take that away. And that's why Jacob loved Joseph so much. He loved him so much because he was Rachel's first son that she actually had, when everybody thought for 20 years she'd never have kids, apparently. I mean, she was barren, they said. But Joseph was a little kid at this time. He's little, he's young, and Benjamin comes into the scene. And Rachel dies. Sad. It's sad that she dies. But it's beautiful, the journey. It's beautiful, the journey that led them to each other. There's beauty in all of that, as far as I'm concerned. Let me turn that. There's beauty in all of that. The whole Bible is full of stories like that. Like drama. It's drama, drama, drama. But you got to be able to see what you can't see. Hear what you can't hear. And you got to know what you can't know. You can't know the past, but you can see it, hear it, smell it, taste it. It's all right here. It's all right here written right before us. It's in a book. It's in that book. But that to me is one of the most beautiful stories I ever read. It's one of my favorite. That story right there, like Jacob's journey to home. His leaving house, his leaving home, afraid for his life, finds the love of his life, falls in love with her, works to earn her. 20 years passes, a little more than that, and dang, doesn't even make it home with her. It's tragic ending to that. There's beauty in it, but it's tragic. It's tragic because, man, I kind of relate. In a way, I kind of can. Only my ex-wives are not dead. They're ex-wives. But it's kind of like that. I mean, I guess I'm dead to them, and I could say they're dead to me. It's not that they're dead to me. We don't think about each other anymore, I guess. But in a way, you could say that, that they're dead to me. I don't know. I guess I won't have experiences with them. But here's what's interesting. They're not dead. And they can still affect my life, even if they don't mean to or try to or want to, So my situation is nothing like his, but at the same time, I can kind of understand it, I kind of relate a little. I can kind of get it. I can kind of feel his sorrow. I can feel his grief and his anger and frustration. I can feel that. This guy has 12 kids. This dude has 12 kids they're all suffering. One of them grows up never even knowing his real mother. Never gets to meet her, never gets to hug her, kiss her, and tell her he loves her. Oh my God, I just said hug and kiss his mother. Like, see what I'm saying? We make it sound like affection is a bad thing sometimes, but it's not. It's not always perverse. Affection doesn't have to be perverted. It doesn't have to be bad. It can be good. Now, I don't know if I think it's good to go out there and kiss 14-year-olds. I don't know why he chose to do that. And or greater in that way. But I do understand he at least understood she was too young to get married, so he was willing to at least wait till she was 21 to marry her. That ought to give us something as fathers and mothers and parents, something to lean on right there, keeping an eye on our kids and letting them marry them off to someone who cares about them. And when they're in the right age and mind frame, a mindset to do it in. On the other hand, he did all this despite the fact he did want to. He did it because it was necessary, But that's usually why people have so much success and so much wealth and and do so well is because they do what they don't want to do. He did what he didn't want to do, and look, he had a lot of stuff. He had so much stuff that he basically took everything. But not quite, but a lot. He took a lot of what Laban thought he had. That was all Laban's, and he had, and dang, now he's got it. But I get that. Like, I could feel that. I could feel the anger, the frustration, I just want to marry this woman and go home. She wants to marry me. I want to marry her. Why can't we just get married and go live happily ever after? Well, you got to work. At least he did. But that's 7 years it took for him to marry her. Another 7 years before he could leave with her. It's wild. I think it was 7 years, and then another 7 years before he could actually leave with her. Yeah, so it was 21 years altogether. But that's crazy, though. We can take a lot. We can lean on a lot of the scripture. And we can learn a lot we could take a lot of good stuff from this book. Reading through the scripture, reading through it in that way, seeing the story, seeing the vision, seeing the imagery of what's actually going on. Well, you can feel it and see it and touch it, taste it, the air, all of it. It makes more sense. It kind of brings it all together for you. But I wanted to share that story with you guys. I've always wanted to share that story with you guys. I've just never found the order of things to get into it to bring me to this story. Like, what's the purpose of that story other than to just share it with you guys? I love you guys, and I want you guys to have the same opportunity, to have the same love for Scripture that I have. And for all of us, the only way for any of us to all come together as one, under one authority, under one mind, is to accept Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior. And not just any Jesus, the one, the way, the life, and the truth. And there is only one way, despite how many doors may be in front of you. And sometimes we may need to open these other doors to understand the door that's in front of us. It's kind of like that whole prodigal son thing where a kid goes out into the world, makes a lot of mistakes, and then he comes back, learned a thing or two. Said, man, I don't want to do that no more. I should have stayed home. He does right by then. It's amazing, actually. It's a real blessing, the things you learn from Scripture when you sit down and you slow down and just read through it. Understand that this stuff isn't happening like this. It's not like the minute you go from one chapter to the next, they are too in the same time it took you to read it. Show, don't tell. As you're reading through it, visualize it, hear it, listen, hear the hooves of the horses' feet, the moans and aches of the people getting hauled around in the carts and stuff, the camels, the way it feels and smells as it's carrying Rachel and all the other people that are on camels. The sand and stuff, desert areas where you find camels. It's the only difference between like the UK, Europe, and all that area and where Jacob's at. Jacob's in an arid area, a very deserty place, but it's wild. It's fascinating. You can find the comparisons to this stuff all over the place. And you can find things that kind of make sense, and you can make sense of stuff without having to lean on your history textbooks written by the Rockefellers Foundation for Education. When you lean on Scripture, you can look at stuff and almost instantly know what it is without even having to think. The Word of God, the truth that's been written on all our hearts, allows us all to do that. But to really know how to do that, or to be able to do that, you have to understand the truth. You have to know the Father, and you have to serve Him day in, day in and day out. Night. In. Wait, what? I'm not sure what that means. But blessings, Miss Nancy. Good to see you. Miss Trish Clark. Good to see you as well. You said that Scott and I show your Discord. Oh, I'll show your Discord. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. That's right. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Like I said, you guys can come in Discord, hop in there. On my off days when I'm not on stream, I will hop in there sometimes and just wait around and see if anybody hops in the chat with me. And sometimes people do. But it's been pretty quiet lately, but I haven't been active on it a lot lately either. I finally got it up and going right. I just don't want to. I'm debating on whether or not I want to pay for extra features or not. I'm not really sure. I know that I sound tired and wore out and exhausted, and I am. I did the thing I didn't want to do, which was go live tonight. I really wanted to just take a shower and lay down and go to bed. But man, I really do believe in being a man of your word. But sometimes, man, I just can't make it. It's just hard. It's hard to do, But I couldn't shake the thought that I had told someone in chat. It's out there. You can't say I didn't say it. that I was going to be live tonight. So I made sure that I went and did it. But that's the thing, when it comes to the scripture and it comes to God and the truth and any of that, doing the things you don't want to do are often the things you need to do. It's the things you should be doing. It's how you become successful. You take even those people who get on the computer and make money that way, watching stocks and stuff like that. No one really wants to just be sitting there on the computer, but I mean, I'd rather do that than what I do for a living type of thing. If I was smart enough, that's what I'd do. I don't think I'm smart enough for all of the stocks and all of that, predicting all of that. At least if I am, I don't want to be. I don't really want no part in all that. But that all said, and to that end, I'd like to thank each and every one of you guys for being here this evening. Let me turn around so I can see chat. I think Miss Trish Clark said that her and Brother Scott are going to hop into Discord at some point or show it some love. Brother Scott Free says, new job, Rev, how was it? We are thankful for you reading with us. Thank you. Absolutely. And I'm glad you guys are here. But yeah, to answer your question, Brother Scott, new job is really good. Of course, plumbing is plumbing. I can go anywhere. It's still plumbing. Plumbing's plumbing. But yeah, new job is really good. It's doing really great. I work with, so far, best I could tell, everybody seems pretty cool. Everybody, I get along with them. They get along with me. Everybody else get along. It's working. Good flow. Positive vibes. Yeah, I enjoy that. It's real cool having that kind of environment. But all groups and all communities have their problems. People butt heads and disagree and argue. It happens everywhere. So, but that said, I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it so far. I like it. I've got my work cut out for me in the next few months ahead of me. So I will definitely be struggling to get these lives going because, man, I'm telling you, when you're out in that heat all day, all you want to do is take a cold shower and go to bed, lay down and go to bed and just crash out. I'm not as young as I used to be, man. I don't know. It seemed like when I was 18 years old, I could work all day and party all night. It just didn't matter, but I'm not, you really do change as you get older. You get tired, I guess. Oh, no. That said, man, I thank you guys for being here. Man, oh man. Thank you for being here. You are the best community worldwide. The Little Season community is like, y'all are checking all the boxes. Y'all are really awesome. I see y'all in other people's chats as well, and that's why I know y'all are an amazing group of people. It's a blessing to be here with each and every one of you guys. It's a blessing to know y'all, to be able to have the love and the friendships that we have. And we are growing. We're absolutely growing. We are growing massive. I mean, it is nonstop. It's like it almost feels like a wheel getting bigger as it's rolling down a hill, like a snowball. I don't know why I said wheel first, but that's what I was thinking. Big snowball rolling down a hill. That's the little season. What is the little season? The little season is our time to love the Father, to know the Father, and to be blessed for being able to believe in Him without seeing Him. We are a blessed generation, and we have an eternity waiting before us. That's the blessing of being in a little season. There's nothing awful about it. It's not doomsdayer stuff. It's not the end of the world. It's not dangerous. It's not callous. It's not deceitful. It's not any mockery. It's not anything negative. It's not any of those. It's the best opportunity to be in, the best time to live in. Of all the times you could live in, this is the best time because yeah, so what? Maybe you could go back in time, but you will never be able to be Abraham. You will never be able to be Jacob, and you'll never be able to be Reuben. You'll never be able to be Issachar or Simeon or Levi or Judah. You'll never be able to be those people, even if you could go back in time. But what you can be is the people that God wanted us to be. And He sent His own Son down here to die for us, to show us the way. And that is Jesus Christ. And I don't think, I know for a fact I wouldn't be here without Him. I know I didn't talk about Him, I didn't praise Him, and I didn't give glory to Him for a lot of years in my life, and I do regret those days. I learned a lot from it, though. I learned to move forward and move past it. Bygones be bygones. I can't help what I didn't know, but now I know. I know better. And so it's important that I walk a certain way. And the same for all of you guys in this community. And I know y'all understand this, but when y'all are out and about and watching other people talk about the little season, y'all know how to act and behave. Just like y'all know how to act and behave without me or anywhere else in the world. Y'all know how to behave. We don't really need all these man-made rules, but we got them. Follow them, I guess. if you're going to make them follow them, that's dang, quit making rules and laws for us to follow, but you don't, type of thing. We all get on the same page, and we will one day. It's going to be awesome. One day we'll all be on the same page, and I can't wait till that day comes, man, where I can walk around and greet each and every one of you guys. And so what if it's not a conference here on earth? We're going to have an eternal conference is what we're going to have. We're going to get to dine and dwell with our Lord and Savior, our Jesus Christ and our God that created us. Look, you guys are the best community on YouTube and anywhere else, as far as I can tell. You guys are the best. And I mean, I'm not just saying that, like y'all really are. It's awesome having y'all here, and I'm thankful to each and every one of you guys. We will be back Thursday evening, and hopefully I won't be as tired. I'll be a little bit more upbeat and lively, and we can talk a little bit more. But that being said, it's pretty late for me. I'm tired as all get out. It's 10:11. I think we made it. We got our 2 hours in. We did good tonight. That said, again, that said, I think I've said that said 20 times now. I don't know, maybe I'm guessing I'm getting delirious. I really do need to lay down. So I love you guys. You guys are an amazing group. I'll see you guys, Thursday. I'll see you guys Thursday.
We're standing on this edge of time where shadows fall and watchers climb. Voices echo through the haze, calling out from ancient days. Footsteps linger in the dust. Men chase kingdoms, gold and rust. But we are seeking something more. A narrow path, an open door. Hear the call beyond the veil. Through the storm, seasoned hearts so cast off fears on higher space. Together we'll journey till the day we meet him face to face. Fires rage and kingdoms fall. Prophets cried out, warned us all. Lines in sand drawn deep and wide. Who will stand on the righteous side? He still waits with open. The silence whispers grow. Spirit leads us home, we know. Hear the call beyond the veil. Through the storm, beyond the trail. Little seasoned saints arise. Light breaks through these shadowed skies. This is truth unfiltered. See the light beyond beyond this place. We fix our eyes on higher space. Together we'll journey till the day